You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Critics accuse ailing McConnell of using autopen to sign disaster request, based on an article by Sarah K. Burris. A signature cannot substitute for a senator. The signature is not the story. Mitch McConnell has been hospitalized for 46 days after a fall he said left him unconscious, and that absence has now collided with a simple, revealing question: who signed a disaster assistance letter to Kentucky in his name? The public spectacle around the autopen is the least interesting part. The real issue is that a sitting senator can disappear from view for weeks while his office still produces the appearance of representation. That is not a clerical curiosity. It is institutional power operating through opacity. Who actually holds the power? The source makes the power structure plain if you read past the noise. McConnell's office controls the flow of information. McConnell's staff controls the public-facing posture of the office. Republican officials signed the letter to Gov. Andy Beshear, while Beshear reportedly could not get a response from McConnell or his office. So the question is not whether an autopen exists. The question is who is exercising authority inside a Senate office while the senator himself was absent and the public was left with fragments, press releases, and second-hand reassurance. If a staff operation can keep a seat functioning in name while the office holder is unreachable, then the institution is already doing what institutions do best under strain: preserving the brand, not the person. Autopen panic is a distraction. The sour comedy of the coverage is that people suddenly discover the machinery of delegated signature only when it becomes politically useful. The source notes that a 2025 dispatch report said many lawmakers on Capitol Hill used the autopen, and McConnell was among them. That matters because it cuts through the performative outrage. The mechanism itself is not the scandal. The scandal is selective concern. The same political world that likes to sneer at Joe Biden's autopen now acts shocked that a Republican Senate power broker may have staff handling signatures while he is recovering from a serious health episode. The instrument is not the point. The point is that elite politics is full of managed absences, and outrage only appears when it can be weaponized. Republican opacity, public office. There is a deeper problem here than one letter dated July 28 and signed by Rand Paul and Andy Barr. McConnell is not some private executive hiding in a boardroom. He is a publicly funded office holder representing a state that needs disaster assistance and a governor who cannot get straight answers from the senator's side. That is a democratic injury. A constituency is told its representation exists while the office itself becomes a sealed environment. If staff are acting in his name, then they are not merely helping with logistics. They are preserving the fiction that power is still present and accountable when it may not be. That fiction protects the institution, not the voters. What the framing misses. The source text flirts with the right question and then wanders off into internet-level speculation about whether McConnell is dead, whether the signature is gorgeous, and whether there is some grand and lawful plot. That kind of noise is useful to the same system it pretends to expose. It turns a structural issue into a melodrama about a pen stroke. The more serious framing would ask why a Senate office can operate this far into an absence without clean public accounting, why state officials are left guessing, and why the political class treats transparency as optional when the office holder is powerful enough. When power is entrenched, ambiguity becomes a shield. The real pattern. This is not about one signature. It is about how American politics normalizes absentee authority for the powerful and demands constant visibility from everyone else. The office keeps moving, the image keeps circulating, and responsibility gets diffused into staff, statements, and procedural blur. That is the pattern. Institutions preserving continuity while accountability decays. In that sense, the story is not about whether a signature was autopen or handwritten. It is about a political system that can keep a senator's office alive on paper while withholding the basic democratic truth of who is actually there, who is actually deciding, and who is being managed out of sight. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Alternet for today's article. With the automated voice of Clara, thanks for listening.